Hey guys, my name's David and welcome to Unbound. I'm currently camped in the coastal mountains in Northwest Oregon. I'm so happy to be back in the Pacific Northwest. It is a gloriously gloomy day outside, which might sound funny because most people don't like this kind of weather, but I've been dealing with oppressive heat in Northern California for about a month now. And so being in 60-degree, overcast, misty weather is such a welcome change. These wet days create such an incredible smell outside. It's complex and hard to describe, but it's a mixture of wood and pine and wet dirt and flowers. To me, it just smells like home because this is my favorite part of the country, and I wait all summer for it to be warm enough to come back, and I'm finally here. And this is the perfect type of day to just cozy up inside and have a nice, relaxing day. And for breakfast, I'm gonna go with tried and true, but delicious bacon, eggs, and toast. Cook up the bacon, not too crispy, a little chewy. And for me, eggs over easy are my favorite because I can just put them on top of the toast. And when I bite into the toast and egg, the yolk just comes running out. It mixes in with the butter on top of the toast, and it's perfect. Add orange juice in as the drink for something a little sweet, a little sour, and then sit and look out my huge rear picture window and just enjoy the simple scenery of this mountain forest. All right, I said it was gonna be a nice relaxing day inside. That's sort of true, but I'm going to do some maintenance on the old travel trailer. If it's your first time to the channel, I'm a full-time RVer. I travel across the country with my dog, Sweetie, and I love staying up in the mountains, and that's where we're at right now. Found this awesome campsite near the end of a forest road after a very steep climb. And it's just great. The solitude here is amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna take care of some maintenance. I got this new kitchen faucet on etrailer.com. I love etrailer. If you guys haven't used them before, they have all sorts of parts that you'd ever need for like not just like a travel trailer, but fifth wheels also, and like, you know, just your typical trailers, like a flatbed trailer. Yeah, they have it all. I've bought other parts for the travel trailer from them before. If you guys are regular watchers, you know I installed a cargo basket on my rear bumper. Got that from them. And then I also needed to get some supports to support that bumper, to support the extra weight of that cargo trailer. Got that from them too. Customer service is awesome. Love those guys. And this, I was able to very easily find a direct replacement for my kitchen faucet. And it was only 70 bucks. I thought that was pretty good. And so I'm going to be working on that today. You guys might know that my kitchen faucet actually broke, I don't know, like 6 months ago. What happened is the handle for the cold water broke. And so what I did in the meantime is I just took off the handle for the hot water and then put it on the cold water, because I like never use the hot water on my kitchen faucet. And I like to joke with you guys and say that there is no more permanent solution than a temporary fix. And so, yeah, this is kind of one of those scenarios. Been going 6 months now with a slightly broken faucet, but I got the one from eTrailer now, and it came with everything I need, even the plastic nuts to secure the water lines up under the faucet. So I said I was gonna have a nice relaxing day inside, but you know, honestly, little repairs like this I really enjoy, and it's not that difficult, so it kind of is relaxing. Honestly though, this will be a pretty easy project. First thing, I just need to turn off my water pump and then just let the water pressure run out, and then just get to removing the old faucet. And it's real easy. You just get up under the sink and remove both the cold and the hot water lines. They just thread out. And then there are plastic nuts that thread onto the underside of the faucet that just clamp it to the sink. And then remove the weight from the hose that leads to the removable sprayer at the spout. And then you're good to just pull the whole old faucet assembly right on out. And I'm gonna take the time to make sure that the mounting surface for the new faucet to the sink is clean and dry before I set the new one on. And then we can install the new faucet, and it's just the opposite of taking out the old faucet. So we set the new one in and then tighten the mounting nuts that secure the new faucet to the sink. Reconnect both the hot and the cold water lines to the underside of the faucet. Reattach the weight to the water line that leads up to the spout. And that's it. My new sink is mounted and in place, and I think it looks awesome. And now I can turn the water pump back on and I can give it a try. And I'm also gonna check for water leaks now too on the underside. Well, there we go. That was a pretty easy little RV DIY fix that I did. And I like this new sink better than the old one too. These handles turn a lot easier and they're silent. Whereas my old one was like, you know, it like really squeaked with the handles. I actually feel like I have more length on this than I did on the old one. And so, yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's a super easy job. Only took like 30 minutes. And most of that is because I was filming. If I wasn't filming, I could have got this done in like 15 minutes. And like I said, I got this new faucet from etrailer.com. I just use them as a resource for really like any RV DIY project I need to do. They're just really great. They've got just about everything on there, and it's pretty good quality stuff too. Decent prices. This new faucet, like I said, was only 70 bucks. I was pretty surprised when I broke my old faucet. I thought I was gonna be spending like 150 bucks for a new one. So I was pleasantly surprised, yeah, with the quality and the price. But yeah, that's another RV project done. Feeling really good about that. And now, since the rain outside has picked up by quite a bit, and so we can't really do anything out there, I'm just gonna crawl up into bed, get all nice and warm and cozy with Sweetie, and do a little reading. Well, it ended up raining all day, and all day the next day, and it rained today too. Thankfully it's not raining anymore, but yeah, I've been getting a little stir crazy inside, being stuck 3 days in a row. I'm on my third day of it just raining nearly all day. Thankfully, I've, just kind of gone into power saving mode, and so I still have about 60%, a little over 60% of my battery capacity left, and so I'm in no worry of running out of power right now because we're supposed to have some, not really sunny days coming up, but at least days that aren't just completely overcast and actively raining. But yeah, it finally stopped raining for a little bit, and so Sweetie and I got out of the trailer immediately, and we're walking about 2 miles away from our site. Just down the forest road is a pretty cool view of the city of Tillamook, and yeah, I'm hoping that it's clear enough to see it. It looks like the clouds and everything, the mist has cleared up a little bit because I can see mountains across the valley for the first time in 3 days. So yeah, I'm hoping at least that view is pretty cool. Off-grid camping in the Pacific Northwest, especially out by the coast, man, is just a whole nother beast than camping out in the desert, which is where I've been for, I mean, yeah, the past 6 months or so at least. And I went straight from the California desert to the exact opposite. Here out on the coast, it's so wet, it's a little cold, and yeah, I'm extremely happy that I travel with a little dehumidifier. It takes up a fair amount of space in my trailer to store it, but I just think it's kind of a necessity for camping out here where it's just so wet. You know, I'm really paranoid about mold growing in my trailer. And so, yeah, when I go back to Indiana for the winter, condensation likes to form on my windows and in my cabinets. And here also, it's just so wet that running that dehumidifier for about an hour, you know, 2-3 times a day, really helps keep the moisture inside of my trailer down. And also, like, just walking around out here saturates my boots with water. And so I can just set those on top of the dehumidifier and it dries them out super quick. And something I really love about this area too is that wild salmon berries grow on the bushes. And if you've never had a salmon berry before, they look just like raspberries or blackberries, but they're not nearly as sweet. There's just a little bit of sweetness to them, but the predominant flavor that really punches through is tart. And I love it. They're bitter like a cranberry, sort of. There's a little bit of sweetness like a cranberry, but yeah, there's a lot of bitterness, a little bit of tart. And yeah, I love salmon berries. Yeah, they just look like yellow blackberries basically, and they grow all around this area. Oh man, right as I got to this lookout, the sun started shining again. It's glorious. Look at that view, guys. You can see the city of Tillamook down there. You can see the Tillamook Bay off in the distance, and then the ocean just beyond that. Wow, what a cool overlook, just within walking distance of my campsite. For dinner tonight, I'm going with something nice and easy. I've got leftover onions and bell pepper, and add in a couple hot Italian sausage, cook all that up, and slather that sausage in ketchup. Got a nice, easy, delicious dinner ready to go. All right, man, I am really excited about this dinner. I'm so hungry. Even though I was stuck inside for most of today because it rained all morning, I skipped lunch, and so I'm so hungry. And that's why I just kind of went with something easy, something I, could use my leftover veggies with, and cook in what, like 10 minutes is all this took, because I'm just so hungry. I didn't want to have to like prepare a whole dinner and wait for that. And I got this Modelo lime and salt beer, man. This stuff is really good if you haven't had it before. All right, time to dig into this. I'm really grateful that the sun finally started shining while Sweetie and I were out on that hike to get to that overlook. And so I set up this 300 watt expansion, like foldable ground solar panel that I've got to really take advantage of that sunlight and try and charge up as much as I can before I lose the sun again. The forecast here has been pretty spotty. Sometimes it'll say that it's not supposed to rain and then it does. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to capture as much of that sunlight as I can. Oh, and I learned about this like really weird, kind of cool bug while I was in my campsite. Sweetie would like roam into the tall grass and she would come back out and she would have like foam on her, like in her hair, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I looked closer at the plants and noticed that there's this foam on like all of the plants. It's not just like a certain type of plant. And so, you know, I just like pushed that foam a little bit out of the way and there's like this tiny little bug under the foam, and it turns out those are called spittle bugs, and they feed off of the like fluid inside of the stem of plants, and they use some of that fluid to create like this foamy spittle around them to protect them from predators and from the elements too. And I thought that was really cool because they're just everywhere. Once I knew what to look for, I noticed that like on every single plant stem there's like this pocket of foam. And so yeah, these spittle bugs are everywhere. I thought that was really neat. But if you guys enjoyed the video and you want to buy me a beer, then you can go through that QR code right there, and I'll also drop a link in the video description below to make it easier on you if you don't have like a camera to capture that QR code. But I am gonna enjoy the rest of my dinner and probably end up calling it an early night tonight because I'm pretty tired. But yeah, cheers guys. As I got ready for bed, I looked out my window and I noticed that the sky had continued to clear on into the evening, and nearly all of the fog and all of the clouds had lifted and the sun was setting. I could see it out there just on the horizon above the Pacific Ocean. So incredibly beautiful. Like I said earlier, I just love this part of the country so much. I love being up in the forested mountains, and to be this close to the ocean on top of all of that is just amazing. And I just love that I live here. I currently live up on top of a mountain, and oh man, it just blows my mind. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on my first day back in the Pacific Northwest. I'm really excited for all the other videos that I'm gonna make in this area on through the rest of the summer. But if you like this video and you wanna see more like it, then please consider subscribing. It would really help me out. But my name's David, this is Sweetie, and this is Fate Unbound, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! There you go, did you say goodbye? Good girl.